Here is the tail of the tape. This is our Clean Care of New England light heavyweight main event, title for title. Rich Gingras and Joey McCreedy. Gingras came in at 172.5 pounds yesterday. He's 14-4-1 with 9 knockouts. Joey McCreedy weighed in at 175. He is 15-7 with 6 knockouts rather. 2 titles on the line, 8 rounds. Let's send it down to Adam Palazzo for the official introduction.
Twin River Casino, are you ready for your main event? No. Twin River Casino, are you ready for your main event? This is the Clean Care of New England main event. This fight is scheduled for 8 rounds in the light heavyweight division. It is a title for title match. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 175 pounds, with a record of 15 wins, 7 losses and 2 draws, with 6 wins coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Lowell, Massachusetts, and current UBF Northeast Light Heavyweight Champion, ladies and gentlemen, Irish Joey McCreedy! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 172.5 pounds, with a professional record of 14 wins, 4 losses and 1 draw, with 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Hailing from Lincoln, Rhode Island by way of North Attleboro, Mass, the current New England light heavyweight champion, ladies and gentlemen, Rich Gingras!
Rich, Joe, listen, I went over the dressing room. Your trunk's perfect. Your trunk's perfect. Obey my commands at all times. Keep it clean, right? Touch them up. Good luck. God bless.
Your referee is Joey Lapino.
We're live from Twin River Casino. It's the 8-round main event, title for title. Rich Gingras in the red trunks taking on Irish Joey McCreedy in the black and green. Mike Parenti joined by Scott Ream. Scott, a lot of times people promise a war, they promise a brawl. This one will live up to the billing. Rich Gingras, Joe McCreedy, they will come at one another. This fight will be in the center of the ring, and more than likely someone's going to go down before these 8 rounds go through. This one should be an absolute war.
Yeah, both of these guys definitely know how to throw the leather, and they both have their fair share of knockouts.
Gingras is coming off a big knockout win in June against Jamie Velasquez. That was for the then vacant New England light heavyweight title. Great fight. It was pure action from the start. Rich Gingras never let up. And that was his first win since his fight in November against Peter Manfredo Jr., in which he was stopped in the 8th round. Irish Joey McCreedy is coming off a knockout loss to Sean Monahan in Las Vegas.
Nice overhand right by Joey.
McCreedy took a step up, took on the undefeated Monahan, who was 20-0 at the time, and he got stopped in the 5th round. Monahan just too much, a little bit too big for him at 175. Gingras has fought at 68 in the past, and has now moved his way back up to light heavyweight.
Joey's landing the overhands, both right and left on Rich at the moment.
Right now, McCready's flipping that jab and trying to work a little bit. It seems like Gingras is just waiting for those power shots, which has been his style.
Joey's keeping his head kind of low and coming over the top, both hands.
Scott, since the retirement of Peter Manfredo Jr., Gingras has been the main headliner here at Twin River Casino. This used to really be Joey McCready's venue, really in 2008, 2009, 2010, until he lost to Vladimir Biossi on ESPN, and since then had not fought at Twin River again until tonight. Trying to reclaim his home turf against Gingras.
Yeah, probably trying to get off the schneid tonight for sure.
So it certainly has to be an odd feeling for McCreedy to be back in this venue for the first time in 4 years, which Gingras has made his home over the last couple of years.
Mike, you failed to mention that we are joined in the broadcasting by the ring by our third and your fiance and soon-to-be bride next week. So congratulations to those of you watching. Mike and his blushing bride will be wed in Puerto Rico.
8 more days. I couldn't miss title for title, however. So we are still here ringside. And again,
how you pulled off marrying such an attractive, nice young lady is still beyond me. I can't figure that out, but well done, sir, well done. Here's Rich now starting to pour it on a little bit late in the round.
Yeah, Gingras letting his hands go here against McCreedy in these final few minutes. Working the body. McCreedy keeping his head low. It's kind of an open target for Gingras. And there's the final bell.
Both these guys not giving an inch right now.
Very good round for Joey McCreedy, Scott. I got to say, we're listening to hear what Orlando Ballas has to say in Gingras' corner.
Listen, don't just stand there, bro. Listen. Hang on. Okay, here's what you need to do. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to listen. I need you to move your head side to side a little bit. Remember how we worked on that? Hands up, side to side like this. And stepping on that movement and stop your shot. Look, don't worry about his head too much. Stop going to the bottom, okay? Going to the bottom. The short uppercut is working good, but you got to get up a little bit more punches, okay? Okay? So you got to jab your way in, jab your way in. Don't just walk in. Jab your way in a little bit. As soon as you close the gap, come to your cup. Watch out for the fingers. He's dropping really low. So uppercut and throw that hook down.
Scott, you heard Orlando Val's, Rich Gingras' trainer, mention that uppercut, which was such a weapon in the Velasquez fight, if you remember, going back to June. Big weapon for Gingras. He has to keep using that.
And he also asked him not to stand in front of him, and that's why the overhand was landing. You see such a low, deep stance that Joey's using. He's really slipping very deep and coming over the top with those overhand rights and lefts.
Gingras actually came in 2.5 pounds under the 175-pound weight limit yesterday, but so far McCreedy has looked like the faster fighter, really just circling Gingras. There he is again with that left jab. He's really used it effectively in these first few minutes here, not only in the first round, but the first 30 seconds of round 2. Nice overhand right that time by McCreedy.
I really like it when guys finish with the jab. They throw a combination and jab off. That shows you that they're setting tempo, resetting their feet, and they're in a good place. And again, there's your overhands. Overhand right, overhand left by Joey. Now Rich is doing a really good job of covering up. He's keeping the elbows in tight. There's the overhand by Joey, and Rich is digging that uppercut again. And looks like it, I don't know if it's, he caught him just underneath the belly button. It looked like it was right on the belt line. Legal punch, of course, but it was a good body shot. It looked like it was paying some dividends there. Richie looks to go downstairs with that uppercut again.
It appears that Gingras camp thinks that the underbelly of McCreedy is somewhat soft. They've been attacking that body since the opening bell. Gingras typically thought of as the stronger, more powerful fighter, but McCreedy also has 6 knockouts on his record too.
There's a short right uppercut.
There's that weapon. It was so dangerous against Velasquez.
Now Velasquez leaned a whole bunch more than Joey is, but again, you're right, Mike. I think where Joey rolled, Velasquez leaned, and that's why it was so effective against Velasquez. But he's landed that. That was the first one I saw clean.
1 minute to go here in round number 2, the title for title main event. Rich Gingras in the red trunks, Irish Joey McCreedy in the green and black.
There's something going on with Joey McCready's left side, it looks like. Maybe I'm not picking up on it, or again, Joey hasn't fought in quite some time, and but again, you're watching Joey, he's throwing like Rich stole something. Nice combination by Rich.
This is a fight the fans have wanted to see for quite some time, and CES has delivered.
Nice combination. McCreedy kind of flurrying it out at the end of that round.
McCreedy trying to finish strong again at the end of round number 2. Let's listen into his corner.
Listen to me, Joey. Deep breaths in your nose, out your mouth. Joey, you're winning 2-0. Okay? If you're not gonna punch, do not hang all over. Okay? Deep breaths. Listen. After the hook, boom, come right up with the uppercut, and then fucking downstairs with the hop hook. And you gotta use your jab a little more. Every time you step away from this motherfucker, he don't know what to do. He's like, he can't keep up with you. You're all done punching off to the side, another combo, off to the other side, another combo. When you want to get yourself a breath, instead of staying with them, just take a step back and again show them a different look. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, Joey? Head body. Joey, it's easy. You got the rounds 2-0 right now. All you gotta do is throw punches and bunches. Listen to me, finish with an uppercut, right hook, left uppercut, and go to the fucking body with 2 left hooks.
Just from these early observations, Scott, it appears that McCreedy has been the much faster fighter. To me, Gingras looks a little slow. I don't know if it's McCready's speed that's throwing me off or if Gingras just looks a little sluggish, but it appears that Gingras is just trying to stalk him down more so than McCready is outboxing him.
I don't know, Rich maybe be a little tentative, maybe he respects Joey's power, which, you know, you have to at this level. Both these guys are well aware of, you know, how well the other fights. I'd say tentative would be it, but he has good defense. He hasn't eaten anything old, you know, very, very clean, or he hasn't been hurt anyways. What I was saying about Joey on that left side, maybe it's got something to do with his cup or his trunks. That's why he's reaching over there so often. Now Rich is opening up.
Gingras starting to let it go here in this 3rd round.
There's a short right uppercut by Rich.
McCready fought back with the right hand, but Gingras is starting to land. We are almost midway through round number 3 in this main event bout. Mike Parenti joined by Scott Reed.
Short left hook by Rich, definitely landed well.
Live from Twin River Casino. Title for title.
Now you see Richie Gingras, he's jabbing short on purpose, looking for distance, measuring. McCready's the one that's initializing the clinch here. Initiating the clinch. Big overhand right that landed flush.
McCready lands clean, then tries to stay out of harm's way. It appears that Gingras has fought more effectively on the inside, Scott, thus far. He likes that phone booth style fight. He likes to be up close where he can use
sure
that
does.
uppercut.
We saw that in his last fight. Now Joey McCready's doing a great job of slipping down low, but man, he's fighting this round with his mouth open. You can see not only the blue, but the white and blue, the mouthpiece. I'm wondering what his conditioning was like for this fight.
Well, conditioning has never been a problem for Rich Gingras, certainly through these last few years. Not only does he box, but he competes in bodybuilding, where conditioning is always a key. And that, to his credit, is what he felt would be the advantage in this fight going forward. If this fight got into the later rounds, he felt his conditioning would eventually take over. We'll see if that happens, if this fight in fact does go into the later rounds.
Yeah, Joey's hands are definitely down a little bit. He's kind of working the shoulder shrug and the shoulder roll now. Left hand's hanging a bit. Couple of deep breaths.
Yeah, it doesn't look quite as quick on his feet as he did in rounds 1 and 2 either.
His hands still have speed when he's stationary, but his feet, he's not jabbing off when he's done. A little less movement in the feet. Nice body shot by Rich.
And that's the end of round number 3. Again, all action, a much better round for Rich Gingras. Arguably his best of the fight. Let's listen into his corner.
Fuck his head. You understand? When you're coming in, I want you to drop down, just drop under his head punches and get to the bottom. Body from the head.
That right hook down to his body.
See, you're missing those shots up here. You're missing those shots up. That's why I told you. Drop your knees and go down here. Either you're going to get to the body or he's going to drop his head right into the fucking shot. You understand? Come on. Take a deep breath. Put the water in the cup. Listen. Put the pressure on this motherfucker. He's ready to go. Jab your way in quick. Move your head in like we show you and go to work.
Not only one shot, 2 or 3. Come on, Rick.
Round number 4 of the 8-round main event, title for title. We have a quick timeout here by referee Joey Lupino. Too much Vaseline, I think, from McCreedy. And now we're ready to get underway. Mike Parenti joined by Scott Ream. We are live from Twin River Casino. Rich Gingras in the red.
Nice body head. Richie went left hook to the body, left hook to the head. Joey McCreedy firing back with a hard right hand.
Irish Joey McCreedy in the green and black trunks. You heard Orlando Valls between rounds telling Gingras to apply the pressure.
Yeah, he told him, leave the head alone, go to the body.
And he feels that this may be the turning point right here, this 4th round here, as we get to the halfway point. We'll see how conditioning plays a role going forward. Gingras' conditioning has always been on point. We'll see if McCreedy's is up to speed.
All that head movement, all that rolling, very hard target to hit. You know, Joey's doing a great job of staying real compact, real small, tough to hit. And I think that's also what's slowing Rich down. But those body shots are landing now. Nice short uppercut by Richie. Joey's just winging. Nice right hand by Joey. It's a looping right hook that landed.
Every time you think Gingras has the momentum, McCreedy answers.
They're just tough guys.
Yeah, and certainly his toughness has never been an issue, and that's one thing we know about Joey McCreedy.
My concern truly is Joey McCreedy's mouth wide open.
Joey Lupino warning Gingras not to push down with the head. He almost hit him with an uppercut on the way up as well. But you're right, Scott. It does seem like that mouth is wide open. He's breathing through his mouth.
And if that's truly the case, if conditioning is the issue, Rich would be wise just to go to the body. Hit a pace that Joey can't maintain. But it looks to me that every single time you would think that Joey might not be there, he does something like this and starts ripping. Now Rich's corner asked him to drop him with a straight right hand to the body, not hooks. Haven't seen that yet. That right hand to the body hurt Joey.
You're right, it's mostly been hooks from Gingras. Really doesn't use that straight right all that often.
Over the top right hand lands for Rich.
It also appears McCreedy's jab has gone by the wayside. It's now turned into a brawl here, Scott. 4 rounds in the books.
And there's Richie Gingras. He's really laying him in now.
What a finish.
Joey McCreedy ripping him right back.
Another thrilling round here at Twin River Casino. Let's listen into McCreedy's corner.
Right there is the first round you fucking lost. And you know why you lost the round? Because you're getting sloppy. You're right. You're fucking, look at me. Remember what I talked about by saying keeping your composure? Do not show me your tie, and don't come from all the way back here with your punches. There's no need to. Keep your fucking hook shot.
Joey, your mother's on the phone.
Keep your hook shot. Listen, none of that right now, please. Keep your hook shot and fucking fire that right uppercut, Joey. Every time you roll, hook, right uppercut. You roll the other way, right hand, left uppercut, left hook. You can't just throw one punch at a time and think you're gonna knock him out. It ain't gonna fucking happen. Joey, he's fighting slow motion. He is, Joey. Listen to me, my brother. You are not gonna knock him out with one punch. You have to put your fucking punches together. Combos. Punches and punches off to the side. Joey, keep your fucking hands up. You gotta keep your hands up, Joey. You got this fight. You lost the first round.
Round number 5, live from Twin River Casino. Mike Parenti joined by Scott Ream. It's our 8-round main event in the light heavyweight division, title for title. Rich Gingras in the red trunks, Joey McCreedy in the green and black. And you heard McCreedy's corner tell him you got sloppy in that last round, and that's why it got away from you. They want him to go back to what worked in that first and second round, which was just effectively flipping that jab and boxing on the outside. But Gingras wants to turn this one into a brawl. We've seen that unfold over the last 2 rounds. You're right too, Scott. McCreedy keeps chugging at those trunks, trying to pull them up. Something going on with his side.
At first I thought he might have been injured, but I don't think that's the case. I just think there's something going on with the the trunks of the cup, one of the two. Nice left hook. Counter right.
Gingras coming off that win against Jamie Velasquez. Prior to that, lost to Peter Manfredo Jr.
Nice slip there.
And admitted prior to this fight for the first time that he actually injured his Achilles in advance of that Manfredo fight.
Ooh, short left hand right on Joey's jaw.
And that was the one time, Scott, in that Manfredo fight where conditioning was an issue for Gingras, and he really couldn't train, he couldn't skip rope, he couldn't run for the last 3 weeks of his camp.
I can't imagine.
And it broke him down in those later rounds. Round 6, 7, and 8 is where he lost it against Manfredo. Since then, he's had no problem. Conditioning, not an issue. And again here, working effectively on the inside, those hooks to the body, trying to break down Joey McCreedy. McCreedy saying, bring it on. 1 minute to go in the 5th round.
Rich Gingras is landing pretty clean here.
Just the output alone has kept him from McCreedy from trying to execute his own game plan. It's been really all Gingras in this 5th round. And you wonder, Scott, if the tide is starting to turn in Gingras' favor as these later rounds come up.
Well, McCready's corner came right out and told him, said that's the round you lost, and you need to put punches in bunches, and one punch isn't going to put this guy away. Nice short left hand. Rich Gingras doubled up that right hand. First one was short, the second one landed. Couple of clean shots right there, a 1-2 and a short little left hook by Rich lands.
Another big round for Rich Gingras in the books. We are through 5 here at Twin River. Let's listen into Gingras' corner.
All right, he's only got a little bit left. You got to take him out. When you see him hesitate, bang, bang, bang. No, that right hook is there when he's in close. When he's in, that right hook is there when he's in. When you get in, turn it over, and then come underneath. Turn the right hook in, and then come underneath. It's there. It's there. Don't try to do it from the outside. Push him on and get right on him. Watch out. Keep the hands up there, all right? And when he's ducking low, just shoot him shots. Just shoot him shots. Right there inside, work your feet. Yeah, you gotta be first on the inside, okay? Dig him, just grab him. First on the inside. Don't wait for him to hit you first. First on the inside. Listen, man. Use your legs. Head, body, head. Go to the body more than the head. You've been working too hard. Take him out. Yeah, but he's ready to go. Give him a read.
Round number 6 live from Twin River Casino. Mike Parenti joined by Scott Ream. It's our title for title main event. New England light heavyweight champion Rich Gingras in the red trunks taking on the UBF Northeast champ Irish Joey McCreedy in the black and green. It's been a brawl thus far through 5 rounds. It appears after a slow start, Rich Gingras has really picked up the pace here, the fight in his favor going into these later rounds. And that's where the more well-conditioned fighter does tend to take over. We'll see if that holds true here, Scott, tonight. McCreedy just struggling with his balance here.
Well, that happens when your head's down like that. You know, he's plodding forward. Also, the flip side of that, too, is that Rich is hitting Joey the top of the head. That's the hardest part of the body right there. You're wondering how much of that Joe's feeling it is, actually feeling.
McCreedy effectively outboxed Gingras over the first 2 rounds. Gingras' power has seemed to stem that tide and swung the momentum in his favor as he's just worn down McCreedy over these later rounds. But McCreedy, every so often, Scott, shows those bursts of energy. Just when you think he's not in the fight, he starts to fight back.
Yeah, and he doesn't, I don't know if he maybe takes the first minute or so off of the round and kind of trudges his way through it, but then he tends to pick up steam and closes the round fairly strong. There's a nice lead uppercut left hook.
That one hurt him. You heard Orlando Val's between rounds say McCreedy was starting to fade.
It looks like he might, if he can continue with that right hook that his corner was calling for, Rich needs to deliver a couple more of those. There's a counter right hand by McCreedy.
And here comes McCreedy all of a sudden, Scott. Gingras again to the body with the left hook. Another left hook upstairs.
They should just draw a chalk line in the middle of the ring and tell them to toe the line. That's exactly what should happen right now.
As anticipated, it's a street fight here in the main event of Title for Title. It appears somewhat that McCreedy has his footing back, although barely. And now he fights back with a right.
Yeah, Rich moving around a little bit better, but Joey just keeps coming.
McCreedy just trying to barrel his way in here. 25 seconds to go in round number 6.
It's a combination by McCreedy. It's just not clean. Gingras is definitely throwing the cleaner combinations, but you know what? To Joe McCready's, he's throwing combinations as well. They're just not as clean.
And that's the end of round number 6. Another strong round for Rich Gingras. And you wonder what Joey McCreedy can do to stem the tide here. Let's listen into his corner.
Do you want this fucking fight? Yes or no? Because this fucking fight's gonna get stopped by this fucking ref if you don't fucking do something. He has no fucking legs. Every time you catch him with a punch, you fucking hurt him. His legs come together. You gotta stay on his chest, and you gotta. Joey.
Taking a lot, but you're giving a few, right?
Listen to me, Joey. Joey, listen to me. Listen to me. It's 3-3. You got 2 more rounds, baby. You fucking back his ass up, get him on the ropes, and when you roll, get that right shoulder right here. Look at me, Joey. No, fucking forget about the boxing. You have to back him up. You're still boxing. Roll, get the right shoulder in front, and be right here. Come down to the left hook right there. Don't come around with the right hook. Straighten the right hand out. Straighten it out, Joey. Joey, listen to me. Are you gonna work? Are you gonna work? You gotta get on his chest right now, Joey. The next 2 rounds, you fucking can't leave it all in the ring.
Round 7 of the scheduled 8-round bout. Scott, how do you have it through 6 rounds?
I won't argue with McCready's corner. You can call it 3-3 if you want, and I wouldn't argue. You could go 4-2, but to be honest, Joey came out strong the first 2 rounds. Like you said, Mike, Rich started a little slow. Big left hand there by Joey. So let's call it 3-3. We got 2 rounds left, and let's see what happens.
These are what they call the championship rounds, rounds 7 and 8. It's title for title here at Twin River. Mike Parenti joined by Scott Ream. The action picking up again, and here comes Joey McCreedy. Maybe finding his second win here, Scott, in the 7th round.
Well, his corner told him put your head in his chest and go, and that's what he's trying to do right here.
His corner essentially telling him, don't even try to box, just go out there and fight. Bring the fight to Gingras. Joey Lupino actually came to McCready's corner in between rounds and said to him, you've thrown some shots, but you're taking a lot too. Kind of giving him a heads-up warning here. McCready does not seem like the type who will go that quietly, though.
All those little jabs are points. All those little jabs that are landing are scoring points. There's a big left hook that lands for Joe, but all those jabs are points. And this late in the fight, you can just get outpointed right now. He's landing, Rich is landing the 1, 2, 3 jabs in a row, 4 jabs in a row, and then Joey McCready comes back with a big left hook. Does that counter the 4 or 5 small shots that Rich just landed?
Depends on the judges. Some judges favor the more powerful shots over the high volume of punches. And if it's the latter, it may favor McCready in this round. He has definitely landed the harder shots.
McCready's winning this round, in my opinion.
Absolutely. That left hook he landed might have been the best punch of the night for him.
And he's pushed the pace. He's backed Rich up this entire round. He's landed big shots. He's been the busier fighter this round.
Absolutely.
There's
Now
a great
Gingras
combination
fights back.
from Rich. And then countered with a big left hook from Joe.
McCreedy answers immediately, another right hand.
There's a short right uppercut by Rich.
Gingras trying to close the gap in the 7th round, making a tough one to call. Final 10 seconds.
All right, I'm requesting 2 more rounds. I want a 10-round fight.
I could go for 12 at this pace. This has been fantastic. 7 rounds in the books. Let's listen into Gingras' corner.
He's in a fucking championship round, baby.
This is the last round, baby, right?
Hey, listen.
Here you go.
You see when he's walking you like that, man? Hey, step back and work like this. Work like this. Step
He's
back
got
like
it.
this. Punch. Okay?
Last round, baby, all right?
When he's trying to lay on you like that, step back and work like this. Okay? That's what you got to do. You're going to punch your way
Go
out.
forward if you have to, but if he starts coming forward, rock that uppercut and put him to sleep.
Yeah, come on, man.
Last round, baby, all right? Keep your hands up.
All your speed, all your fucking power.
Last round, touch him up.
All right, get me the towel. I'm going to need
This
it.
motherfucker.
Chris, this out. He's going to come in hard this round. Once he gets you on the ropes, turn him right around. Grab his arm and turn him. Just like you did
He's
that
going to
last
try to
round.
steal this round.
Get the ground.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 8th and final round.
Here we go, Scott. The 8th and final round of this dynamic main event. Rich Gingras in the red trunks, Joey McCreedy in the black and green. And they're going to empty the tank here for these final 3 minutes. And depending on how you score it, this could be a 4-3 fight either way, in either direction.
That's how I have it right now.
Somebody could either seal the fight or possibly steal a draw, depending on how the judges have it. This one has been very close. The action has been tremendous as advertised. Big left by McCreedy.
Big left after Gingras lands a 1-2. Richie lands that clean 1-2 and the story of the whole fight.
Exactly. Nobody really has had the momentum for a long stretch of time. When one fighter
Now
lands,
Rich is finally doing what his corner said, land and get out.
and it seems like when one fighter lands, the other answers immediately.
Joey is loading that hook up, tucking, dropping those knees, twisting that torso and ripping. Joe Frazier type leaping left hooks.
Fans on their feet at Twin River.
How can you not be? These two guys, I mean, didn't Rich just go through a fight like this 3 months ago?
Gingras' last 4 fights have been absolute wars. When he fought Claudine Biossi last July, then when he fought Peter Manfredo, and again against Jamie Velasquez. Even though that fight only lasted 4 rounds, they were 4 hard rounds. And now he's going 8 hard rounds tonight with Joey McCreedy.
Unreal.
McCreedy making his case here in the final minute. This is it, Scott. Final 60 seconds of this championship bout. And as Orlando Valls, Gingras' trainer, said, the championship round.
There's a big right hand from Rich that landed smack dab on Joe's temple. Staggered him for sure. Richie keeps pushing him off, trying to find his distance, where Joey wants to jam him up and keep his head on his chest.
Big left by McCreedy.
This is like a choreographed movie plot.
It has been tremendous from start to finish. Final 15
Now
seconds.
Rich is really picking up the pace. He's landing way more punches here. But look at Joey just pushing forward. Just coming forward, throwing bombs. There's a short right hand that wobbles Joey. And that's the round.
What a fight.
Unbelievable. What a phenomenal fight.
8 rounds in the books.
That's ridiculous. Redonkulous.
Much respect, brother. Much respect.
Ridiculously redonkulous.
This was as good as advertised. Joey McCreedy and Rich Gingras. And I gotta be honest, it's too close to call. I can't tell you which way the judges are gonna go. It was non-stop action from start to finish. And really, Scott, nobody had the momentum for a long stretch of time. Every time somebody appeared to take the fight in his direction, the other fighter countered. It just kept pouring it on. It was absolutely tremendous from start to finish. McCreedy came to fight. Gingras came to fight like we knew he would. And the fans are the ones who benefit from this one. 8 rounds.
Everybody's on their feet that last round. Every person in the building on their feet.
And now the only suspense is to find out who won the fight as we go to the scorecards. Rich Gingras has certainly been in this position before when he fought Vladimir Biossi in July. He was originally announced as the winner of the New England super middleweight title. A scorekeeping error changed that. The fight was actually a draw. Vladimir Biossi retained his title, much to the chagrin of Gingras. Gingras came back at 175 earlier this year to beat Jamie Velasquez for the vacant New England light heavyweight title. And now he tries to take McCready's UBF Northeast light heavyweight belt, but McCready trying to take that New England title back and maybe cement his status as the #1 fighter in this region and reclaim the home turf that he had for so many years in the mid to late 2000s. It's such an interesting storyline, and all 8 rounds that unfolded over the course of that fight, exactly what we expected, exactly what we built it as, exactly how we promoted and marketed the fight. It was going to be all action. It was going to be all offense.
Majority draw, we're doing it again.
If you get a draw, then you have a reason to do it again. That's certainly true, but we will see how the judges had it. At one point, I thought Gingras might have had the edge 4 rounds to 2. I'm not so sure the way McCready closed out. He may have won those last 2 rounds. It could go either way. It's that close.
The first 2 rounds, I really thought, the first 2 rounds of the fight, I definitely thought McCready had it.
Absolutely.
You know,
I think
he was the
McCready,
busier fighter. You could even give him as much as the 3rd round. Now, Rich started to turn it on late.
Yes.
And did he turn it on late enough? There was that late round, that 7th round I have to give to McCready. So right there's 3 rounds, and how do you score the last round?
Exactly.
So at the minimum, the first 1 and 2 and 7 can go to Joey. 8 can possibly go to Joey. There's your 4. You could go 1, 2, and 3 and 7. There's your 4.
That is too tough to call. Definitely a better start for McCready.
Can I please stop doing math?
Turned it up in the middle, and then toward the end, who knows? It was so evenly matched. We'll leave it to the judges. We'll send it down to our ring announcer, Adam Plazio, to get the official decision.
Guys, center of the ring. Center of the ring. Center of the ring. Twin River Casino, how was that main event? After 8 tough rounds, we go to the scorecards. Judge Glenn Feldman scored the fight 80-72. Judge Don Trella scored the fight 79-73. Judge Eddie Scunzio scored the fight 80-76. And your winner, and now New England light heavyweight champion and UBF Northeast light heavyweight champion, Rich G.